Hey people, Sylvius here. This will be my last Now Boarding Let's Play. Last time we did Survival, we're in Free Play this time. Now Free Play has two different modes, Normal and Challenge. Free Play is basically like Sandbox mode, if you will. And here's the difference between them. Normal has the same difficulty as the career episodes, and is played until you promote an employee to take your place. The game is not scored and is more laid back. So basically it's just Sandbox mode. Challenge is more difficult and is played by the year for a high score. It also includes airplane, terminal, and tower upgrades. While you can play as many years as you want, each year is progressively harder. I added that word in there, by the way. This mode is more intense and requires more skill to play. So I'll be doing challenge mode. Normally, I personally enjoy the southeastern and the northeastern United States, but I'll be doing the Caribbean for this one. The Caribbean's actually kind of hard. Welcome to the Free Play Challenge. Choose a city to be your hub. You'll need to buy at least one other destination and one airplane to get started. Yeah, they won't let you play the game without planes or without a second destination. Each month you're scored on various criteria. At the end of the year you get a summary of the year and a choice: submit your score to the high scores table or play another year. You can play as many years as you want, and each year is harder than the last. Challenge your friends to see if they can beat you. So this is the Caribbean. I find it annoying because I have to keep the map super zoomed out. Also, the distance between these is actually slightly misleading. Small planes will actually have like extreme difficulty moving around. I find it's easier to start down here, although I totally can't see what any of those things are. Port of Spain. Yeah, alright, so I'll probably start at Port of Spain. I'll buy the better airplane. You see I started with 50,000 there. What is that? St. George, it looks like. And Bridgetown. Can I get... Is that a fort? Fort de France. Yeah, I guess we'll take that too. And can I grab St. John's? This is probably a risky amount of destination to have without another plane. So I think I'm gonna actually look and see how much is out of my price range. If I wanted to, I was gonna get the tiny. I'm gonna still get the tiny plane. It's been so long since I've used one of the tiny planes. All right, so we're gonna keep it zoomed out so that I can get used to it. Yeah, like you see, this is a there is an honest. The planes do not have the range that you would like them to here. So yeah, we're just gonna go through this. I'm looking forward to getting past Now Boarding. This is usually how I feel with a lot of these when I did the Flash games, and I still consider this a Flash game, even though it's not. Although you can play it on Congregate, where it is in Flash game format, but regardless, it's still like in that miscellaneous playlist, I guess. I was always like this though when I was playing these guys. I was always like, after doing them for a while, I'm like, oh man, I just want to get back and like do another one now. I mean, like, this game's fun and all, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, this game's fun and all, but I would you know, you can only play it for so long. It's a, you know, it's a Flash game effectively. Not that that's bad, but... So yeah, like, after doing a couple of videos of it, and, like, my play of the game is really regulated, I can't play whenever I want, because, you know, it would interfere with my videos, so when I'm like, oh, I've got a hankering to play Now Boarding, I actually can't play Now Boarding, because otherwise I'd have to make a video of it, and I just want to sit down for a short period of time. So after a while, I end up being like, oh, come on. Time for this to time for me to go do something else. So I already did my first video of the next game, Game Dev Tycoon, and I'm excited about getting onto that and doing some more with that. So yeah, it's cool though. It's all good. At this point, you can see I probably did not need to spend the money on the smaller plane. I guess it's questionable. There's not a lot of people yet. This is how it always is at the beginning. However, you do get scored, so you do want to pick up all the balloons, or the clouds and stuff like that. I think the sooner you pick them up, the more likely another one is to spawn. You want to get your people picked up as soon as possible because your score ranking is based off of that and all that jazz. Get you there. I think the once we hit the orange and like it's overtime, the faster you can finish, the better score you ultimately end up with. So yeah, you want to keep everything like moving as smooth as possible. Keep your people happy, keep the planes going. Got him. So I think you have like 50 seconds to finish. Was I right? Where does it say? It should say time left somewhere. Oh, that'll be on the next page. Yeah, right now we've just, this is the like normal whatever. And then this is the score. Here we go. So, okay, you have 60 seconds. So I had 55 seconds remaining. You get a bonus for having over 90% satisfaction. Each cloud you get, like the happy clouds, the speed clouds, gave me additional stuff. Freak out clouds are the opposite of happy clouds. They make your people upset. I don't think they show up in challenge mode, but they show up... I'm sorry, they don't show up in challenge mode. They do show up in survival mode. My general experience has been that a score of around 2,000 is good. Anything over 2,000 is better. Anything less than 2,000 is worse, obviously. Alright, I can't afford that. What is that? Oh, wow. Definitely can't afford that. Kinda looks like I have nothing to buy right now. I might be able to get that one. Oh, I can't afford that either. Alright. What about Santo Domingo? Which I also can't afford. Wow, I definitely can't afford that. Well, I guess I'm not buying anything. That's kind of annoying. Another month of the exact same situation. Better to use my smaller plane for the quick jumps and save the big one for anybody that needs to go or shows up at St. John's. Slightly annoying, that situation. What can you do? So, Ooh, money cloud. Gotta grab that guy. Grab that guy. I so can't see what's happening over here. My map is so zoomed out, and all these places have, like, a decent amount of text in their names. I'm glad I randomly decided to click that as my waypoint. You'll also note that most of the places here don't have a, in fact, I don't think any of the places, yeah. I'll have to double check when we get in, but it looks like none of these places have the, like, more people come this time of the month. That's not technically true. It's only partially true. I'll showcase it a little bit more when we get to it. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Ooh, cracked my wrist. Yeah, good. I got him out right before the other plane landed. That looks like a St. George in Bridgeport. Bridgetown, whatever. Where's Bridgeport? Bridgeport? Bridgeport sounds like a place I've heard before. I think. Maybe? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, it's Bridgetown here. I have never been anywhere in the Caribbean before. Caribbean? I'm not really sure what's the correct pronunciation of that. Caribbean? Caribbean? I don't know. Yeah, though. Never been to, I mean, I've only left America once. Went to, Canada. Back when I was in, like, 8th grade. Which would make me, what, like 13? I went to Canada. 8th grade is 13? That sounds about right. I think. Well, you're usually 18, 17 or 18 in 12th. So 16 or 17 in 11th. 15 or 16 in 10th. 14 or 15 in, I don't know. I already lost it. I can't do that like yearly rotation with school years backwards while also playing a game. It should just name the grades after what age you are. It should just be like age 12th grade. Age 18th grade. Now see, that was not a good score. Generally, you want to keep your score at 2K times whatever months, so that wasn't great. Alright, we're gonna get that one, because I can't afford yeah, I can't afford that one. San Juan? That's pronounced. So we'll pick that one up. Hopefully that'll get things moving a little bit more. I generally try to avoid getting this guy, and I definitely avoid getting that guy. It's a little bit easier to have all of your stuff like in a row, I think. And the Caribbean's actually really nice like that. So yeah, I think it's like generally it makes just everything a little bit easier to keep them in a row, which is also why I always try to make my starting one at the corner, because it's really easy to be like ping, 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 and back. When you're in the middle and you're like ping, 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 and then back, there's a lot of excess flight time. Which I believe just is not the best way to handle the situation. Yeah, and you kind of got to like really keep track when you're in the middle and stuff like that of where you're going and where your people need to be. I definitely do not think it's the best way of handling it. On the other hand, as a negative to being far in the corner, you do have really long flight times from like here to here, which can be, I guess, sort of an issue. I think it still is ultimately the best way to handle it, but it can be an issue. Send this plane out to that dude, and then we'll pick the Happy Cloud up while we're at it. Will he get the Happy? Okay, he'll definitely get the Happy Cloud in time. Oh, was that the wrong one? Oh, or was the plane stocked? Yep, that's the downside with the small crappy planes. Small crappy planes. Bane of my existence. Was that Bridgeport? So yeah, I mean, that is one of the upsides to having the things in the middle, is if you have like a lot of, especially if you're using the smaller planes as opposed to the big ones, but if you're constantly sending planes out, it is a little bit easier to keep things moving smoothly if you have like one giant central hub in the center. But I still, as I said, personally prefer doing it the way I do it. But it is a matter of taste, I believe. So you guys can kind of figure out your own way if you do try playing this game. There we go. So this is going to be like, I don't know. I'm pretty good at the whole challenge mode. I did want to showcase the Caribbean so that you can see what it's like. I don't know how far I'll follow this one, because I can easily drag a challenge mode into like 3 or 4 years. Wow. I'm doing even worse. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might just end the video here, folks. Like, this is basically what it is. You're not going to see an end to this anytime soon. It's just more of the same over and over again. I am going to end it here, actually. I think this is a good time. Just because that was pretty disappointing, and it's going to be a while until I'm able to afford the next city. So, yeah, so that was that. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, check me out on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook. I will see you guys later, and again, I'd like to point out that I misspelled my name, and we're Let's Slay instead of play. Or Let's Lay, I suppose. Anyway, people, I will see you folks later.